Hey guys, what's up? It's ZachTD2744. So one of the reasons why I jailbroke my iPod Touch 4th generation as soon as I updated to iOS 5 is because of the fact that I wanted to see what jailbreakers were going to go ahead and do with the new notifications as well as the notification center in iOS 5. And they've already done some pretty awesome things. So with that, today I want to go ahead and show you 10 awesome Cydia tweaks as well as widgets directed specifically towards the new notifications in iOS 5. So in order to get the widgets and tweaks that I'm about to mention here today, you will have to have two sources. Now the two sources are Big Boss Repo as well as the Insanely I Repo, which are all available in the description below. If you guys don't know how to enter those, you just go ahead and go into Cydia, Manage, Sources, Edit, Add, and then you type in those repos, click Add Source, and there you are. You'll be able to search the tweak or widget that I'm about to mention to you in the video if you want it, and simply download it. They're all free anyway. Now some of you guys are going to be like, wait a second, Insanely I, why are you using Insanely I? The reason why I'm using Insanely I is that there's one widget in particular in Notification Center in which is called BBSettings, and it's in beta, and the developers made it so you have to download it to your computer, transfer it to your iOS device, and then go in there with iFile on your iOS device, transfer a little bit of the code in order to make it able to actually be usable on your iOS device. And it's a huge process, and the majority of you guys probably won't know how to do it, and I can't fit a tutorial in here or else it would be a really long video. So with that, Insanely I Repo has put it up on their repo, and it was free in the first place, so it doesn't really matter. So if you guys need a more detailed tutorial on how to enter sources or repos, go ahead and visit in the description below. Also, for the ones that are specifically directed towards Notification Center, you're going to have to activate those. It's pretty simple. Go ahead and go into Settings, Notifications, scroll down to Not Notification Center, and you should see the tweak or widget that you just downloaded off of Cydia. Go ahead and click on that and click on. If you really didn't get that here, you guys can visit in the description below. I have a YouTube video directed towards the tutorial on it, specifically how to do that. So with that, that's pretty much all you need in an iOS 5 jailbroken device. So here is the top 10 awesome Cydia tweaks as well as widgets. Now the majority of our widgets and tweaks will be found in settings and then notifications after downloading them, like I said. So the notification center is now blank. I'm going to go ahead and click on our first one, which is QuickMemo, and it's also known as labels. They kind of switch up the name within it once you download it, which is kind of weird, but it is called QuickMemo. And basically in the notification center, it allows you to take quick memos or quick notes, and it allows you to take an infinite amount of notes. Unfortunately, after typing those notes, it saves them until you shut off and then on it in Notification Center in a little bit. I'll show you that. And the only way to exit that with the keyboard up, you have to hit home button and it'll go ahead and exit out the whole Notification Center. And as you just saw, turning it on and then off and then back on will actually get rid of the memo or notes that you just took. Next thing is called ClockCenter, and ClockCenter is pretty cool, and I see some more potential for it in the near future, but right now it's actually pretty basic. Now turning it on and bringing down the notification center, you simply see a bigger clock widget, in which you can see much like on Windows or so on, and then on the right you see the calendar, in which is pretty nice because it shows you the date. I've always remembered having to exit out, go to the lock screen to view the date, and with this I really don't have to, which is kind of nice. Next thing is called SlideCenter, and which is really cool for all you guys who like photos. Maybe you take those on your iPhone, iPad, or iPad. You know, if you're within an application or you're browsing the web, maybe you just want to display a really fancy little slideshow on your notification center. And it just adds some style and uniqueness to the notification center. It just does like a simple slideshow of your photos. Next thing is pretty interesting. It's called PowerCenter, in which is kind of an alternative to BBSettings, which I'll talk about in a little bit, as well as SBSettings. Pretty much all you guys probably know what that is. If you don't, I'll be talking about that in a little bit as well. But it basically just shows your simple information like free RAM. It'll show you your percentage of battery. Now that battery animation right next to that isn't 100% accurate. You can lock your device, respring it, put it in safe mode, put it on and off airplane mode, turn on and off the toggle Bluetooth, locations, Wi-Fi. It can adjust your brightness, you can adjust your volume with it, and that's something that you can see much at like in SBSettings or BBSettings. And with that, it's just depending on which style you like the best. Now, I will say that SBSettings has more options and more settings for you to mess around with and make it just how you want it. Now, the next one I want to talk about is pretty interesting, one that I really do like. It's called Status Google. And Status Google, just as you're probably assuming, allows you to have a more easier searching way in the notification center. So turning that on, dragging down notification center, it says search here. go ahead and search whatever you want. This is really cool if you're, you know, in Facebook and you're trying to look up something really quickly. Just drag down Notification Center, type in, for example, dog. It'll open up Safari, already searching it, and then it'll bring up all those results below, which is pretty dang nice. And the next one, once we get out of here and go back into settings, we have something called SBSettings, and as I mentioned, the majority of you guys do know exactly what this is, and it's an alternative to PowerCenter or BBSettings. BBSettings is in a heavy-duty beta right now, though. It just depends on which style you like. Now, like I said, SBSettings does have more options for you. Basically, if you want to perhaps lower and make the brightness better, for example, turn on and off Bluetooth, turn on and off Wi-Fi location services, put it on and off airplane mode, and so on. And like I said, there are a lot more settings with SBSettings. Simply by going into the application provided or in the settings area, it will show you all these things that you can actually put in your SBSettings on the Notification Center, which is actually pretty nice. I enjoy all those settings. They are extra, but I don't really enjoy the look of SBSettings at this time. I actually prefer PowerCenter to an extent. Next thing is like SBSettings as well as PowerCenter, but it's called BBSettings. And like I said, this is a heavy-duty beta. So as you guys can see, it's not even close to perfect. Very, very laggy, very, very slow. But they are working on it, so it's probably going to get better in the near future. So I guess it's just something that you kind of have to live with now if you're planning on using this. And it's really great for all you guys who like the information. You can switch between applications really quickly, which is something nice. But on the next tab, if it clicks, because like I said, it is slow because it is in beta, it'll reveal a lot of information, and the information is actually very detailed. So if you want to know a lot of you know, your CPU usage for your device, your Wi-Fi, your cellular, your processes of the device, this is definitely a great widget for you to have in Notification Center. Also, by hitting that sun, you can go ahead and do things like adjust the brightness, turn on and off Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 3G, mute your device, put it in the lock up by the Notification Center, and so on. It just has a lot of really cool features in there. Like I said, it's still in beta, and then you have easier access to volume and brightness as well. Pretty simple, but like I said, beta, not exactly even close to perfect. And the next thing is something called MusicCenter. And the majority of you guys are probably going to get impressed with the next few dedicated to music in particular, because MusicCenter is actually pretty nice. It displays statuses and artwork as well, album artwork within the Notification Center. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it down here, and it's going to say that there's no media playing, so I'm going to go ahead and drag to the right, and it'll have a play menu with pause, play, stop, and unfortunately I can't let you guys hear the music due to the fact that it is copyrighted. So there you have some Skrillex music playing, and you can actually tweet what you're playing, which is pretty interesting, simply by hitting Twitter, although it doesn't provide that great of a tweet there. Number now playing All I Ask of You by Skrillex. But scrolling to the left, you can access the album artwork, like I said, your ratings, and so on. Also, by hitting the music icon, you can go ahead and open up the music application and pause that, or whatever you want to do. And then the next thing is called AppsCenter. And AppsCenter is pretty, you know, broken down. It's pretty basic, but it's something that's an alternative to the stupid little app switcher, I would call, because it's not really multitasking below by hitting the double tap menu. It's really nice because you can quickly scroll through applications very, very fast, as you can see right there. You can also set it to kind of use it as a second dock, I would call it, where you can say that you want these 4 applications to show up there. Now the next one is called Now Listening, and Now Listening is pretty cool because of the fact that it has nothing to do with Notification Center first off, but it takes advantage of that animation notification at the top there. Basically, whenever you're playing a game or something and you're hearing a song and you want to know what it is and it switches to the new song, it'll show the artist as well as the song name at the top of that in a little roll down animation, which is actually pretty nice. Something that I really enjoy because I do use my iPod to listen to all of my music. So those are the top 10 awesome tweaks that I want to go ahead and show you in this video. That's it. That's basically my top 10 tweaks slash widgets for the notifications in iOS 5. Like I said, all the repos are in the description below if you can't find it simply by searching it. Make sure once again that you have the Big Boss repo and the Insanely I repo. I want to go ahead and thank you guys for watching. Also, pay attention to that date below. If you're watching this from a month from now, you may have some widgets and tweaks that are a lot better than the ones I'm mentioning now. The majority of these widgets and tweaks are also in beta, so they don't exactly work the best, as the majority of you guys could tell from the ones I showed you here. They are pretty cool. Go ahead and check them out if you're interested. Once again, thank you for watching this iGuitar 2744. Please feel free to go ahead and subscribe for more of our iOS devices by hitting the subscription button above. That really helps me out. It also helps you out to see more of our iOS devices. Visit the description below, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, as well as check out iOSnova.com for up-to-date iOS news. Feel free to also leave your comments and thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you for watching. This is iGuitar 2744.